Hey gang, today by request from Mark S. we are going to do John Mayall and the Bluesbreakers, Another Kind of Love, which features Peter Green on guitar. Certainly one of the best of the British blues players from any era. Fantastic player and really hard to lift his stuff up. He had a really distinctive style. Anyway, I did my best to lift it from the record, put it onto a tab, and so today I've got the tab and the backing track for you as well. I know, Mark, I said I was going to use the 335, but it was just too good to pass up using the Les Paul for Peter Green. So we'll do it some other time soon, all right? Hey, gang, as usual, if you like this one, please press the like button. And if you haven't yet, subscribe for one of these every week. We will see you in 3, 2, 1. All right, gang, let's go through this note for note. Now this is going to be a bit of a long video because it's a fairly long solo and there's a lot to cover. So any event, you'll definitely want to download the tab. We have that in the link in the description below, and also in a different link I have the backing track. Both of those are going to help, but especially the tab will be helpful, I think. So make sure you download that. All right, second thing is the sound. I just want to be brief on this. A lot of people chase Peter Green's sound. He definitely had a distinctive sound. It was kind of a bright sound that he had, but it was using a Les Paul. He did something special with his guitar and amp for sure. Now, what I'm doing is I'm using a Les Paul, but I do have mini humbuckers, so that's going to brighten it up a bit. I'm using just a regular old classics voiced amp with the gain not too high, at around 5.5, and a little bit of reverb. The way I really tried to get that Peter Green sound, I think, on this one was by doing the arrangement on the first 2 strings. So you'll find a lot of the playing is on the first 2 strings, and it is going to deliver that Peter Green sort of trebly sound. In any event, you use whatever guitar you want and whatever settings you want to get you the tone that you want. I just told you what mine was. All right, let's go over. The next thing I want to go over are the chords. Now, this is a blues in G minor, and it's a bit of a special blues in G minor, as we'll find out. If you listen to the song, the only person who's really playing anything close to chords is the organ, which is kind of like, you know, that kind of thing. Peter Green is actually playing just a little lead line and not playing chords. That sort of thing during the song. All right, so, I think we're just going to pretend that there are chords and kind of go through that. And if you pretend that there are chords, it starts out in G minor, so we're going to have 4 bars in G minor. G minor, 4, G minor, 2 bars of C minor, back to G minor for 2 bars, D minor, 1 bar C minor, 1 bar G minor, 1 bar. Now here's what's different about this. C minor for a bar, G minor for a bar again. Okay, and then we're going to go, not really a chord, but we're going to walk down from the D, C, B flat, A, and G. So it's just walking down that minor scale. And it starts again. So if you listen to it, you hear that, oops. All right, which is pretty cool. It gives it a nice distinct character. All right, I'm going to play the whole thing slowly and then we'll go through it line by line. Okay, so that's the whole thing. Let's play this now line by line. Here's the first line. I should say what's really going to help you is if you know your minor pentatonics in each of the different positions. This really goes all over the place. From the minor pentatonic in this position, which is kind of home base, to this one, even to this one, and all of them really. And so we're just playing the minor pentatonic in each of the different positions. So it's a really good practice on that, actually. Okay, so let's go on with the first line. The first line is the pickup line. We're going to start here on the 11th on the second string. So you hammer on twice, 11 to 13, and then the third time you bend it up a whole step, give it vibrato. Okay, here's the second line. Okay, that one, I know you have the tab, and the tab should help, but because it's so high in the neck, it's hard to see, so I'm going to spell it out. So you're playing a double stop here on the first two strings, second string 15, first string 13, and then 13, 13, and that's 15, 12, 15 on the second string, on the third string, sorry. All right, so here's the whole thing. I like that because it's nice and dissonant, and it's different than the sort of Angus Young thing. You don't have that whole thing kind of coming up, and it doesn't sound at all countrified to me. It just sounds dissonant. All right, anyway, here's the next line. Okay, so this is a standard Chuck Berry lick. We're going to bend on the third string, 5th fret, and then 3-3 on the first two strings, 6 to 3 on the third, and then slide from 6 to 8, and then play the 6 on the first. And it's classic blues line. All right, and that's the next line there. Okay, the next line we've got is this one. Okay, so nice. I like this. It's using a pedal note right here, 8th fret, 2nd string. Okay, and you'll notice that a lot of this throughout the solo, we're not letting a lot of things ring. We're kind of choking off the notes. Peter Green choked off a lot of the notes, which I kind of think is cool. All right, so we're going here, we're playing 8-10, and then 8-8, and then 11-8, and then 11, bend it up a little bit, choke it off. Okay, here's the next line, and this is a bridge between the G minor and the C minor. Okay, so we're starting out with this. You're used to doing that one. That's on the 13th, right? And then here's the C minor. Okay, so that last lick ends up in the C minor, okay? All on these little frets between the second and third strings on it. Okay, this next one, I'm going to play it kind of as a mega line because it's tough to get down. It's probably the hardest in the solo, and but it bleeds together so well. And it's a C minor. It starts in C minor and ends up on the G minor chord. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so this starts out on the C minor, and it does have this little C minor dyad, right, on the 8th fret. That's just playing basically a little mini C minor chord. So that's playing that dyad and then playing the 8th on the 2nd. So far so good. There's nothing special about that one. But immediately we're going to come down to this position, which is kind of our home position for G minor pentatonic, and we're going to bend up on the 5th instantly, and play this. What I really like about this is it kind of coming back, which is a standard blues thing. That's kind of standard. But when he plays the 5 on the 4th, he plays it twice. Listen. Really neat. And you know, when you put it all together, play it very slowly, because you've got to switch and you've got to bend up very quickly in that position. So take it very slowly at first. And that extra note on the 4th string, 5th fret, will screw up your up-down picking if you're using up-down. So just do 2 downstrokes and do the rest, okay? All right, now what's interesting about this one, I think, if you listen to the record, Peter Green actually slides from the 7 to the 5 and then bends up, and that is a really neat trick to pull. I wasn't brave enough to pull that one on the record, and I didn't do it in the tab either, but if you listen to it, I think that's what he's doing, like this. And you can see it's really sort of a wild sound on that one. So you can practice that and have fun with it if you want to. I wasn't brave enough to put it in the recording. Okay, here's the next line. Another minor pentatonic standard. So we're just going to play it all in the blues box position. What's interesting is he's ending on that flatted 3rd, right? The minor 3rd of that G minor chord. And with this one, you also don't want to play it like a rock player would. You want to play it kind of staccato, not like that, but you don't want to play it super fluid either. You don't want that. You want it to be kind of ringing, not ringing out, but really enunciated well. Okay, here's the next line. Okay, a lot of playing around in this position right here, just on these. Amazing how few notes he uses on this one, and it just sounds great. So this is on the 6th and the 8th frets of the 1st and the 2nd string. Let me just play it slowly. Let's see. Again, we're choking that off at the end. All right, now I'm going to flip all the way up to the 10th position. You can all do this at the 15th if you want to, but I find using the 10th is better. It sounds better to me sonically because we're using those 1st strings. So that's yet another minor pentatonic position. So we're going to start out here bending on the 13th, and then play 13, 10, and then on 2nd string we'll play 13, 11, end up on the 12 on the 3rd. Okay, and then the standard. Okay, and that's over that C minor, right? That's going the D minor to the C minor. And then we're back to the kind of the end, the turnaround part. And now it starts out with this one. Here's the next part. Okay, so I think of all that as kind of like G minor, and he plays it over the C minor as well. But we're playing here unison bends. Okay, so I don't know how well you can see this, but I'm playing 1st string 15, 2nd string 18, and then I'm bending up the 18 to match that, a whole step so that I match the 15th. Right? But you don't have to get it exactly. You want to leave it a little bit, not like that. It's okay if you have a little bit of dissonance. This is the blues. So the first time you play the whole thing, let it ring, and then there's 5 of these. And that's just playing 15 and 18, again on the first and second strings respectively, and then 15 and 18 with the 18 bent up a whole step. So you do that 5 times, and then you play this. And that's just walking down. If you see this, this is the same minor pentatonic, but up a whole octave. So we're playing at the 15th instead of the 3rd, but it's the same shape. So we're playing second string 18, 15, third string 17, and then we're bending it up a half step and pulling it off to the 15th. Okay? And then immediately we're going up to the first string and bending the 18th a whole step, and then playing the 18th, 15th, and second string 15th. So it sounds like this. Here's that whole lick, okay? I'm going to play the whole lick. Really a neat lick. All right, last lick, guys. Here and guys and girls, guys and gals. All right, so here we go. Last lick. Okay, so this is that transition over that walk down over that D minor. So we're starting out here on the 13th on the 2nd, and this is the only time I go down to the bottom notes, and if you listen to the record, it's really kind of faded out. You can barely hear the notes, so I might be making up a couple of these at the end, but I think it's pretty close. The beginning is right in any event, so we're going to play 13, bend up a whole step, and then 13 on the 2nd, 11 on the 2nd, and we'll do that again. Okay, so it's... Okay, and then we'll play 12 on the 3rd and 12 on the 4th. And then hammer on 10 to 12. So it sounds like this. Okay, and now here's the walk down. That's it. Let me play that lick one more time slowly. And that's it. All right, gang. Well, there you have it. Peter Green playing on Another Kind of Love from John Mayall and the Bluesbreakers. Fantastic song, fantastic, fantastic player, and I hope you enjoyed it. This one, I find this really hard to take Peter Green's solos because he's got such a distinctive style, but it's really enjoyable too. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you got something out of it, and we'll see you on down the road.